Good morning and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Tuesday and it is build day 59. Yes, I said build day 59 again. Because yesterday did not end up being build day 59 because of course it was Labor Day. It was the 1st of May. It was the Fiesta celebration in San Jose that I went to from yesterday's video. And it kind of sounds like it's kind of extending into the day, but I don't think it is. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, today we have a guest that's going to be coming out. Well, not a guest. Actually, it's one of the vendors that's going to be coming out to the site today for the AirCon, the air conditioning evaluation. And that's going to be from Mr. AirCon today. We have a scheduled time. I don't know what time it is today. I think I'll get a specific time, or maybe I have it on my schedule. I have to go and look at the in the Baje Kubo to see what I have up on the board. So we're expecting that today. We're going to be finishing up on a lot of the rebar work, the structural support for the floor today. And I will make some corrections. One of the subscribers was asking me, he's actually following any of the plans that I post in there from the designs documentation I put up there, and you guys are actually doing checks and balances and coming back and asking me, this doesn't look like what's in your plans. Well, thank you very much for following along with me and catching these things. I actually asked my builder about that, and I don't have the latest plans, the plans that were approved at the city level by the city engineer, the newer plans. I just received a copy of that, and I'll try to post some of that today maybe in a Baje Kubo time, or sometime when I'm talking about the rebar and the structural support inside the floors. So anyway, I want to get out there this morning. I don't know what time the AirCon representative is going to be out there, so I want to get out there and get settled in and get things started for today. So anyway, let's head on out. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Before I take off, I want to do a warm shout out to Edward Reyes. It was his birthday yesterday, May 1st. And my wife, my CTO of Conscience Control, she said, make sure that you send a warm shout out to him. So anyway, happy birthday, Edward. Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Going to work again?
Of course. Yeah, it's not a holiday today, right? No holiday?
No holiday.
No, yesterday was the holiday, right? Today's normal. How come you're not working? How come you're not working today? No work?
Before.
Before. Or tomorrow. Good morning. How are you today?
Where are you going?
I am going to work. Oh my goodness, what do you have? Is it?
Fish.
Oh, fish.
Fish.
Milkfish? What is it? Milkfish. And what is that? What kind?
Tulingan.
Ah. You're the, I love fish, but I always choke on the bones. All the time. Have a nice day. Good morning. How are you today?
Where are you going?
Where do I go every day?
Every day.
Where? To work.
Wow,
And that's where I'm going to. No, December. You're digging again. How'd you get back on the digging team? You must like the dig. So anyway, as usual, everybody is busy. They got their tasks going on. Everybody has a specific task. We got some digging going on. We got some movement of the PVC. We got some more of the rebar being done over here. We got the footer holes being dug for the stairs for the front porch. So everything is moving along quite well this morning. I noticed we got a lot of rain yesterday. There was probably about an hour to 2 hours of some pretty heavy rain that came down. And even though the basement area is kind of covered, it's still all open. And with all the rain that came down here, a lot of the water got down into where the sump is. And remember, the sump is actually covered, and there's only about 6 inches of a box that's plugging the hole inside there. So there's a lot of water down there. So I'm going to do like I had to do last week. I'm going to go down there. I left the tube inside there, and I'm going to siphon. I'm going to let some of that water siphon out. I don't want that water setting directly inside there, and because it's mixed up with the cocoa lumber and things like that, and it'll get really nasty. So let me run down there real quick and try. I don't want to do that again, but I'm going to try to siphon that stuff out. No, I decided not to show you the siphoning part. I already did that on one video before. I'm not going to put you through that again. So anyway, I want to show you something else. Somebody made a comment about the quality. Excuse me, about the quality of some of the building material that you'll find over here, or the pipes or the plumbing or anything like that. There's a lot of substandard stuff that you can get in the hardware stores over here. And let me show you a case in point. This is fairly new. This has only been installed about a couple of months ago. And this is the water bib from my water meter. This is actually what the subdivision installed. Remember, I did a video where it showed them putting this, tapping into the water supply in the subdivision, putting the meter on, and putting this pipe in here. But let me show you. This is, look at this. This is the quality of the material that you'll find over here. This has to be replaced, and this is coming all through the center of the brass itself. So this is very poor, cheap quality, and it's going to have to be replaced because I'm going to be losing a lot of money, a lot of pesos on water here. I can't really tell so much. I think they've grown, but one of the subscribers made a comment about some of the plants around Bahia Cubo. You know, we didn't put this in that long ago. I think this papaya right here, I think it's actually grown quite a bit. That one right there. Remember, this was like dead. This was like a dead papaya. And remember, I stuck it right next to the coconut tree. That's in actually a pot that's planted up underneath the ground to retain. I want to retain the root ball so it doesn't get very big. And the banana plant here, it was almost down to nothing. And this is all new. This is actually starting to come up very, very good. And it's good that we got all this rain, because the natural rain does a lot better. And these look about the same. Let's see if anything back over here on this side. Anything that looks elevated. Oh, this banana plant, so we know he transplanted fine because he's actually starting to get a new growth right there. I trimmed back some of the leaves on the bottom. And these come and go. I don't really know what this plant is, but they look cool. I found them in the woods, and I'm going to plant them. I think that's a weed. I'm going to pull that up. I think out of the 12 coconuts, this is the only one right here, and it looked really bad. It was full of ants, and it was in horrible shape. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to make it. So really, I'm going to call that we have 11 coconut seedlings that are actually still alive. And remember this guy. This is from this plant right here, and he's actually starting to come up nice. Oh, look at this, and this is from my builder's mother. This is another papaya, and this is definitely really spread out, and you can see the trunk on it. It's actually getting a lot bigger. So yeah, we're actually getting some good growth. And this is grown. This is from the woods. I found this in the woods too. This is another papaya right here, and it's starting to spread out good on the top. So everything seems to be coming along well. I don't think it was that long ago. When did I plant these? Maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe between 6 weeks, maybe about 6 weeks ago. I have to go back and take a look at the videos. But yeah, and these are just temporary. These are just temporary homes of these, and then we'll move those around once because all of this is going to have to be regraded and everything like that. And we'll put down some grass and things like that. And we'll talk about grass also in a later episode as we start getting towards landscaping. Because there's like 3 main varieties over here, and I'll talk a little bit about each one of the varieties when we get to that. Today is the first day that we're actually starting to use the PPR pipe, and we're actually using the fusion welder. Let me show you what the fusion welder looks like. It's a device like this right here, and it has So let me explain to you a little bit about fusion welding. You'll see that the PPR is actually inserted inside a heating element here. And what happens is it melts the PPR pipe, and then when it is connected, and the 2 ends are connected together, it becomes one solid piece of fused welded pipe inside there, so there is no chance for leaking if it is done properly. You can see the actual seal right there when it pushes through, which will actually enclose around the pipe itself. So anyway, just received a text message from Meister Solar. Meister Solar, as you know, is the company that's going to come down and do a analysis of our solar needs here at Villa Feliz. And Mitch at Meister Solar, actually, I was expecting one of the technicians, one of the engineers to come tomorrow. She set it up for tomorrow. And it's not the engineer that's coming, but it's the owner. So we're honored to actually have him come down. And it's actually not for the total technical solution. It's a meet and greet with the owner of Meister Solar, and it's also to do like a preliminary analysis of our needs here. Mike was actually doing some business in Batangas, and he decided he would stop by tomorrow prior to them actually sending out the tech solution. So that's going to be a great day. Something that surprised me, because I looked at the original design for this building, and they were talking about, the builder had 150 and 200 millimeter thick concrete for the floor in here, and I thought, wow, that's really thick, especially 200 millimeters, and that would be, I would think, something for like a big high-rise building or something like that, because that's the sizes that it would have. But our spans aren't that between room and between beams, it's not that big. So when he submitted the drawing with that, and he submitted that to the city engineer, the city engineer changed it, and he had to put it to the smaller amount, because actually we're only running 100 millimeters of concrete for the floors inside here, which is going to be approximately 4 inches. So let me show you what it's going to look like. Here, I'll get my little handy dandy tape measure out. So when we actually pour, you see where the 4-inch mark is right there? That's 100 right at 100 millimeters right there, and it's going to be basically be a little over an inch, like an inch above, an inch below, something like that, be for the clear cover for the concrete to go above and below the rebar inside here. And all the rebar, here, let me get my tape measure out again. So all the rebar is going to be approximately spaced at a 15 centimeter spacing inside here. The drawings that I have actually shows that the spacing is, I think it shows 20 centimeter on the bottom and 30 on the top, and that's with the new drawing. So I'm going to ask him a question why we're running 15 on the top and 15 on the bottom, and maybe he can explain to me why we're doing that. I don't know if that makes it stronger or if it makes, what's the difference, or it's just his design, but you really should be going by the drawings that's submitted to the city. So let's talk a little bit about the plumbing that's going. The plumber, actually, what he's going to do, he's pre-positioning some of the pipes inside here, and these pipes they're going to fill in around. They're not going to cut the hole inside the form yet, because it's going to fill up with concrete, and that's going to keep the concrete from filling in underneath it. And then what he's going to do after the concrete's been poured and it's settled, he's going to tap this down, and he'll be able to put the coupler joining, or the 90 degree or the 45 degree, whatever he's using to go to the septic tank. He'll be able to make the connection once the concrete is actually hardened a bit, and it will just tap on down. And that's what they're doing over there also. He's doing also with the drain over there. Something that you want to make sure is when they're actually putting it in, keep an eye on the different locations that they're putting, because if you don't like a specific location where the drain is going, because normally you want to center things, like this one centered right here. If you're not careful, they'll put it over in a corner over here and play where your feet might actually be, and you want to avoid that. So you want to make sure you put it in the location that is the most logical, and it's not going to impede water flow while you're actually taking a shower. So what the guys are doing here is they're actually building, this is going to be an awning. It's going to be a protective cover for the door that goes into the basement area. My builder said it's a real good idea to have that so that you don't have water falling directly onto your door. And you want to avoid water splashing constantly on your door and getting wood rot and things like that. All right, so let me show you something kind of cool here. This is the it's going to be the floor outlet that we're going to have inside the great room. That's going to have, it's going to have basically two end tables over the top of it, and then we'll plug the lamps on the end table. And these are in the floor. They'll be concealed. You see, they have these neat little things that go inside here, and it covers up the sockets, and then you can open it up and it'll be like this. But if you need to cover it, keep anything from getting inside. So anyway, this is kind of a neat little thing to have if you don't have proximity of a wall service outlet switch. You can put this in the floor for things like lamps or whatever you need for that. So anyway, you have this, and then you have this portion right here that's going to fit inside the electrical box. All right, so it's going to fit down inside the 4x4 electrical box. Then you're going to pour concrete, and the concrete's going to basically go right over the top of this right here. And then what'll happen is when you get done, and after you pour the concrete, you take a hammer and you smash this. This is just plastic inside here. Then you take these two little screws and you pull off the top. And then what you do is you set this down. You see the screws on the side right there? Well, they lock into these right here, and it makes it adjustable. So I'll screw this in right here real fast, and just a little bit to get it started. So I'll screw this guy in. Oh, I want my washer. Don't want to lose my washer. Screw this guy on this side over here. All right. So now oh, my washer again. So what happens is when you put your tile down and everything like that, you have this much room. You have about 2.5 centimeters worth of adjustment space for your thin set and your tile above your box, your service outlet box inside there. So this is kind of a neat feature. So my builder was like, oh, well, we'll just build a really big box. Big box, we'll set this in and we'll pour concrete around it. I said, no, we're not gonna do that. I said, let's do this. I said, let's put this in the right way. Let's put the box inside it, because if you make a giant box and you have the conduit on the outside, and the conduit is already locked into the concrete, well, you can't move. It doesn't matter how big your hole is, the little square hole that you're going to make inside there. The box is still. This is a fixed. Your conduit is going to be fixed, and it's only one place. It's still only going to be able to go into one connection point. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. So we're going to do it the right way, and we're going to set it properly. Then we're going to knock this out right here, knock this piece, and slide this in, and boom, it'll be perfect. Right, and the support for the side stairway.
The number you have dialed is now unattended. Please stop. Aircon Philippines, hello.
Hi, is this Kate?
Yes, sir. May I know who's on the line?
Hi, this is James. How are you today?
Hi. Great, sir. Good afternoon.
Hey, I was just trying to do a follow-up. Ryan was scheduled to be here today to visit my site. Is he still going to come?
Yes, sir. I will transfer you to Sir Ryan, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ryan. How are you today?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I have you.
My team come visit you today.
Yeah, we are scheduled to have you here today. Are you still coming in today?
I cannot come today, but I give the instruction to our team.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye-bye. So that was Ryan at Mr. Aircon. So we were scheduled to have a meeting today. He was supposed to come out to the site, and I don't know, something went wrong. I don't know what happened. Well, I never got a call or anything like that. It's 3. What time is it right now? It's 3:42, and I thought maybe they would be coming at the end of the day, possibly. So he's gonna call his team, and we're going to see, and it might have to do a reschedule. So we'll see what happens. Take a look at some more of the pipe that they put in for the plumbing. So let's take a look over here. We have these two pipes right here. Obviously they're going up to the second floor. I'm sure one of them is going to provide water to the master bathroom, and the other one might actually be for the Solar hot water heater. I'm pretty sure I'll check on that one. And then we have this one right here, which is going to feed the kitchen sink, and that's going to be the drain for the kitchen sink. See, we got our 2 floor outlets in for the great room. Right here where I'm standing, this area right here, this is going to be an island. We still have to put the power in because we have to have power for the island. We're going to have 3 outlets, and we're going to have one for the electric stove that's going to go in the center. These pipes are actually going to be in a pantry. There's going to be a pantry right here, and those are going to be accessible from inside the pantry, so those will not be hidden inside any of the concrete hollow block. I believe we're doing that in case, since those are a main supply of water going up and coming back down, we want to make sure that we have good access to those. Well, we just started, but after a while, all these conduits, they start looking like a bunch of gobbledygook. Well, it is after 5 o'clock, and you know what that means. It means the crew's done, and it's time for me to pack up and do a closing for today's episode. So anyway, today was a good day. It's always a good day when we're moving forward, like I always say. And today we got a lot of stuff done. You see a lot more of the rebar is done. But I do have an alibi here. It's not my alibi, it was my builder's alibi. You see this area right here, which is the patio. And when they put the rebar in this way and they did the bending, they have to do the bending because the patio has to be down at a lower level because it's a wet area. So no water ever makes it into the house. So it will be down, like I said, about that much. I don't know how many centimeters, but something like that. So anyway, when they bent, you see all the rebar that they bent there. Well, it put stress on our beam over here and it pulled our beam in. And we can't redo the connection on the end of it because the hook has to be a certain amount of millimeters, and they have to maintain that minimum amount. So what my builder is going to do, he made the call, and they're going to pull those. It's not that many. It's maybe 20 of these inside here. Maybe 20, maybe 18, something like that. So they're going to pull those out tomorrow morning, and they're going to put new ones in, and they'll make sure they'll straighten up the beam over there, and they'll make sure that it gets taken care of. But at least he's conscientious enough to go ahead and take care of this on his dimes, and see his guys made the mistake. So anyway, they're going to fix that. So we got a lot of the PPR piping in. We got a lot of the plumbing. We also got a lot of digging done. These guys are still digging back here. They're digging over there. We got the footers in for the front stairway that's going into the front patio to the front of the house. So we got that all done. There's going to be more. There's going to be, those footers aren't the only thing that's going to be there. There's going to be additional support that goes in the ground. And I'll show you when they start putting the rebar and everything for that. But it's going to be very strong. So we'll have a very strong foundation for the stairway that goes into the front of the house. We got our floor boxes in for the great room, for the lamps that are going to be on the end tables. And we did some coordination today. Even though Mr. Aircon wasn't able to make it today, they called me back on 2 occasions. They called me back and they let me know that tomorrow between 10 and 11 o'clock, or was it 11 and 12 o'clock? I don't know. Somewhere in there, but I'll be here, it doesn't matter. So they're coming out tomorrow. They're going to have a team that's going to come out here and visit us and give us a site evaluation on how we need to do this. And that will determine also, remember, there's a lot of people that are concerned about putting the aircon inside the generator room, even though it's vented and things like that, but whatever their recommendations will go. And it's no problem if we have to put it on the side of the house. We can actually put it on the side of the back side of the house over there, where it's actually just a fence, and there's like 2 meters and there's a fence and nobody will see it over there. So that's actually a place if we have to put it there, and that might be the optimum place. We'll let them make the call on that. And tomorrow we have Meister Solar, founder, chairman, CEO, head engineer, Mike. He's coming down tomorrow, and we'll see him sometime during the day for the solar evaluation. So I need to get home. I need to get something to eat. I need to get a shower. It's very hot and sweaty today. So if you enjoyed today's video, if you found it entertaining, if you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Just click on that My PI Dream, the little heart down in the bottom right of your screen. And every time I push a video, you will get an email notification. So until tomorrow, which is going to be day 60 on the build here at Villa Feliz, you have a wonderful day.